loves you and I love you too. Feel the love and the unity. Lift your voice, repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love, we come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, I recognize the God in you. Feel the love and the unity. Lift your voice, repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love. Everyone alike. Every creed and color. Kinship unite. In honor of God and each other. Take a look at the person next to you. Say namaste, I bow to you. Feel the love and the unity. Lift your voice, repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love.
All right. Oh, I can take this off now. Good morning. I'm so glad to be here and to be here just in time. Yes, I had the consciousness of hitting every light here this morning, and I needed it. So thank you, baby Jesus, and all the Buddhist saints. So welcome. My name is Reverend McMorrow. I'm the spiritual director here at the Center for Spiritual Living in Granada Hills, which is in the North San Fernando Valley in California. If you're joining us here for the first time, welcome, welcome, welcome. And please help me welcome at home and here in the sanctuary, Reverend Kathy Lyons, our animal ministry minister. All right, so let's get started the way we like to do things here by just taking a deep, conscious breath and releasing. And in that release, we're just allowing ourselves to surrender to this eternal now moment as we come together for our call to service, which we call lighting the flames of faith. And we perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples, all faiths, all sentient beings come from the one great universal presence, which we call Spirit. And fundamental to this truth is a unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here this morning. So as Reverend Kathy lights the first candle, it's for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. The second candle we light for shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light the third candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the fourth candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the fifth candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. The sixth candle we light for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the seventh candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. We light the eighth candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light the ninth candle for all forms of New Thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. The 10th candle we light for all those who are as yet unaware of the power and presence of Spirit in their lives, and for the space we hold for them here at our center, in our online community, and within our own hearts. And as Reverend Kathy lights the healing candle, you might want to throw the President and the First Lady in there today, and anyone who's been suffering through this pandemic in any way, and for suffering in any way, add to the light the names of anyone you wish to have experienced the healing flame of God's eternal love.
There is one flame that burns in our hearts. There is one light that shines through our love. We light this flame with faith. We light this flame with faith. We find this light within our own soul. There is one flame, one light within.
So join me, please, as I speak in the first person for everyone watching and everyone here, recognizing that there is really only one flame, and that is the flame of God, and the flame of love, health, wealth, creativity, inner peace, and divine trust. And I am one with this flame, this eternal flame of God's love, health, wealth, and creativity, and divine trust. And I know right now that there is that inner light of God that indwells within me, ever divinely guiding and directing me in all matters regarding love and relationships, health and vitality, creative expression and livelihood, finances and wealth. And I know right now that I have this inner divine trust within, that everything in my life is unfolding for the highest and best. And I proclaim right now that today, this morning, is a perfect and complete idea in the mind of God, where I feel enlightened and uplifted and feel peace and trust. And so with deep gratitude, faith, trust, and conviction, I release my word to the law. I let it be so, and together we say, and so it is. Good morning, everyone. For all of you watching online or in this room, have you ever noticed how when you search online for something, and I know because you're watching that all of you are familiar with the internet, have you ever noticed that what you've searched for pops up on your Facebook page? I know that I had an experience once. I was looking for window blinds, and pretty soon on my Facebook page I see all these different ads for window blinds. And sometimes this can be good because I've found products that I really like this way, but other times it can be plain annoying. So what does this have to do with the science of mind? Well, similar to our online searches being tracked, our thoughts, beliefs, and what we feel about ourselves and focus goes on to this kind of, I don't know if you call it a metaphysical cyberspace, the law of cause and effect. As I think and believe, my thoughts go into this universal subjective mind. So like the advertisements that correspond with my searches, the law of cause and effect demonstrates in my life. Now, what is this? This is what Ernest Holmes talks about mental correspondence. He describes that the inner image in mind, which balances the outer objectification of itself. Every objective thing has an inner mental correspondent. And that's on page 610 of the Science of Mind textbook. So, this is what goes into my mind, and what I put out comes back. So our life a lot of times outpictures itself, just like what we search for online pops up on our Facebook page. If I'm searching online for window blinds, I'm not going to get things that have to do with dresses, for instance. So what can we do about this? So our thoughts are similar. If I focus on how I'm worthy, that life is good, that I feel good about myself, and really have faith and trust that things are unfolding for the highest and best, that's what will outpicture in my life. As Reverend Mike, he wrote a book, Blue Collar Spirituality. He so eloquently says, consistent mental focus over time demonstrates in our life. So let's make sure that those thoughts are thoughts that warrant our attention are creative with the energy of dynamic inspiration and focus. And that doesn't mean that we're not going to have pain in our life and feel emotions like sadness. This past year, all kinds of feelings have come up. Anger, sadness, fear, all kinds of things. And it doesn't mean we just try to cover it up with affirmations, putting whipped cream over garbage. But we do and we can start using our mind to focus on what we desire. Don't let things, harbor thoughts that we feel unworthy or we're not good enough or there's lack and limitation. Our thoughts are creative. And just like our internet searches can be for good or for not so good, we can go online, focus on things that we want and find, support for that. Or we can search online for things that, have a lot of fear and negativity. So what we think about comes to being, just like what we search for online gets, pops up in our pop-up ads. Reverend Mike also says in his book, if you feel you're not worthy, you're unconsciously setting yourself up for a fall. So, harbor thoughts that you really desire. And I know this is a time that's challenging, but focus on the desires, and we're here to support you. If you're feeling a lot of pain in life out of this whole situation, reach out for us. Sherry Gideons is a practitioner available for prayer after the service online, or reach out to any of us here. We're here to support you. So let your thoughts and beliefs be like your online searches, positive in what you desire, because it's done unto you as you believe. Have a great week, and so it is.
Morning, everybody. Nice to see you. I hope you guys are doing great. Please welcome Mr. Jason Goldstein on the keys. All right, Jason. And today, we are very lucky to have, although he is hiding, we are very lucky to have the one and only son of Zebedee. I'm stalling. Mr. John Silver. All right, John.
Wow. Thank you. I'm tripping onto stage here. Great to see everybody. Thanks for having me. Okay.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
We've all had trials and tribulations. We all have felt the cold wind blow. But through all those complications, Yeah. There's one thing I've always known. We're all here for a reason. We're here to share the love we bring. Remember, winter is just the season. It's always followed by spring. It's always followed by spring. So hold on to your dreams. Place them in your heart. Set them right in front of you. And when the doubting starts, just hold on to your dreams, because they really can come true. Everything is possible when you believe in you. When you believe in you. You may not know just what you're here for. You may not know what gifts you bear. But every one of us is magic, with something beautiful to share. So listen to that voice that's calling, telling you how great you are. And let your light shine down upon us, because you are a shining star. You are a shining star. So hold on to your dreams. Place them in your heart. Set them right in front of you. And when the doubting starts, just hold on to your dreams, because they really can come true. Yeah. Everything is possible when you believe in you. When you believe in, you've got what it takes. Your dreams are not mistakes. Your soul now awakes to see it's right here for you. No need for playing small. We're tearing down the walls, and you can't have it all. Your dreams are gonna carry you. Do you have lofty aspirations that somehow seem too high to climb? Well, don't you lower your expectations, no, or try to put them out of mind. Just let your higher vision guide you, 'cause it's the reason that you're here. You have all you need inside you, and the way will soon be clear. The way will soon be clear. So hold on to your dreams. Place them in your heart. Set them right in front of you. And when the doubting starts, just hold on to your dreams, because they really can come true. Yeah. Everything is possible when you believe in you. Ha! When you believe in you. When you believe in you. When you believe in you. Like I believe in you. When you believe in you. Like God believes in you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So now, let us stand for a declaration of principles. We believe in one universal spirit, manifesting through all, natural and incarnated in us. We believe the universal spirit is personal to and reveals itself through everyone who recognizes its presence. We believe our faith operates upon a law of mind which automatically manifests in our experience according to that faith. We believe in the unity of all life and the immortality of the individual soul forever expanding. We believe in the goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the givingness of life to all.
2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, heaven's inside me. Yes, heaven's inside of me. With spirit and nature, within and without. Now that I know that God's right here, right now. Oh, heaven's inside of me. Yes, heaven's inside of you. Yes, heaven's inside of you. Oh, spirit and nature, within and without. Now that you know that God's right here, right now. Oh, heaven's inside of you. Well, heaven's inside of us. Yes, heaven's inside of us. Oh, it's spirit and nature, within and without. Now that we know that God's right here, right now. Oh, heaven's inside of us. Oh, heaven's inside of us. Yes, heaven's inside of us. Oh, spirit and nature, within and without. Now that we know that God's right here, right now. Oh, heaven's inside of us. Yes, heaven's inside of us. Yeah, heaven's inside of us. Oh, heaven's inside of us.
All right, big hand for that one. I don't know if you caught that at home. Ken wrote that one. Yay!
We need some new ones.
Nice one.
Thank you.
A nice little riff in there. And I can't believe that song was as tight as it was with those breaks this morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice
I
job.
was actually nervous singing that.
Very nice. All right, so I just thought this is what Lake Arrowhead looks like, in case you haven't been there in a while. Thought I'd just share that with you and with me. And so thank you, Mr. John Silvers. And so let's give John a hand, yeah. And congratulations to the newly minted Agape minister, Reverend Mrs. Wendy Silvers. Yeah, yes, and so for years, of course, this is just a formality because she's had a ministry teaching conscious parenting, among other things, for years. So congratulations. And now you're married to a minister. We're praying for you, man. Thank you. And of course, we have our own newly minted minister right here in Granada Hills. So this is Reverend Nicole Robbins, shown here yesterday at the Center for Spiritual Living in Redondo Beach, where she had her official graduation. And so this is her ministerial stole now. Isn't that a lovely color? I'm not sure what color it is in real life, but it looks pretty flashy there. And, wasn't it just yesterday that she was one of St. Charlie's angels? Okay. See, these things, thank you. Thank you, Evan. I appreciate that. Yeah. So, Yes, of course, Andrea and Nicole and Susan were part of that class. So congratulations, Reverend Nicole. And today is also the first day of October. First day of October. October 2020, where we lived the nightmare of Halloween all month long. No, that was just last week. Okay, that was still September. All right, so it's a perfect time to turn the page. That's what I say. The perfect time to turn the page on the calendar. And so for this month, our theme for the month is Cosmic Connections. That's on the Natch, of course. Cosmic Connections. And this seems especially appropriate for this year, given the cares and the concerns of the outer world. Of course, I'm speaking of the fall TV lineup. There's not much to watch right now. Of course I am. What else would I be talking about? Although I have to say there is far more drama going on out there than there is on television. So October. It used to be Rocktober, but now we can't really do that. So it's October, a time to gather in the harvest, a time to remember indigenous peoples, a time to remember at the end of the month, a time to remember the ancestors, a time for gathering resources for the fallow months ahead. It's also the 10th month of the year. And so I was kind of poking around a little bit this week, looking for things around October. This 10th month of the year, I found this from Unveiling Your Hidden Power by Dr. Ruth Miller, who shares Emma Curtis Hopkins when she writes about the number 10, that 10 is the number of light. 10 is giving birth to everything. 10 is the number of the membra of the mystics, the secret word of the mystic self. 10 is the I am. 10 is fulfillment, completion. 10 is the rose of the world, the Sephorath, come into bloom. So I think it's actually Sephorath. And Sephorath is from the Kabbalic teachings of Jewish mysticism, which are the 10 attributes or emanations through which God reveals himself and maintains creation. That sounds like cosmic connections to me. And so our talk title this week is Just Like Me. And I chose this from Proverbs, also from the ancient Hebrews, from the Hebrew Bible, Proverbs 27:19. As water reflects the face, so the heart reflects the true man. And again, I would say this is a timely reminder. Or with the world tugging on us for attention in all kinds of ways right now, the seemingly incessant clamoring for attention, it is good to remember sometimes first things first. To start with the reminder every day that God is, I am. And that I am presence is alive and well in the soul of you and within the soul of me, and especially, and everyone else too. Especially those with whom we may hold in disrepute. Especially with those whom we may hold in high regard. For this is where our spiritual practice is. Right? So it's good to see the divine within those whom we love. But as the master teacher taught, that this is the low-hanging fruit of spiritual practice. Right? That we know that we have grown in consciousness when we can pray for our enemies. and mean it. Of course, for those of us who practice this teaching of religious science, we also know that oftentimes those enemies are emanations, mental emanations, with which, like Jacob of old, we can sometimes wrestle with, and all night long. So this is where the practice is. To see the I am, to see the light, to raise our vibration to 10 at every opportunity, to practice the awareness of the divine in every moment, starting with this one. Now, how to do that? I have to tell you that I find this difficult to do if I do not start my day out correctly. So I am one of those who can get snagged by the outer world because I like to stay informed. But, I also understand that part of my staying informed is looking for ways that I'm right and that they are wrong. This is not a healed consciousness, by the way. This is not what a healed consciousness looks like. But it is a consciousness that's getting real. So I would encourage you to think on these things today and see how some of this may apply to yourself as well. Because I find it difficult to see the I am presence in all of life when I do not start my day out correctly. It is said that the writer and teacher and minister of the New York Center or the New York Church of Religious Science, Reverend Dr. Raymond Charles Barker, used to read the newspaper every day. And when he was done, he would fold it up and set it down and say, "I don't believe a word of it," and then he'd walk away. Now, this is a man who was not only ran a church, but also sat and was on the board of directors of several companies in the New York area at the time. Read the paper, set it down, fold it up, set it down, don't believe a word of it, and walk away. So he stayed informed about world events and maintained his cosmic connection so that the affairs of the world did not inform his consciousness. So he maintained his cosmic connection so that he could read the paper and read the paper rightly. To read the paper and somehow stay anchored in the absolute, knowing that there is a deeper thing at work underneath this expression of the world of events that we are co-creating together through the universal subjective or race consciousness, right? And to know that there is that absolute underneath all of it, the first cause behind all of creation. And that if we stay attuned to that, if we stay attuned to our cosmic connection, then the things of the world, although they may snag our attention for a while, right, we're no longer hooked by it, and we can spit out that hook and remember the truth of our being, remember the truth of life, which is that all is an emanation from the mind of the Spirit. Now, this is, I think, a difficult concept to embrace, particularly when we can think about all the ways in the world that we can see and give witness to, where things look unjust, where we see tremendous suffering, where we see where it looks like God is not present. And we might even ask ourselves, how could God allow all this to happen? Right? So how can God be good and only good if there's all this suffering out in the world? I think that's a legitimate question. right? And I think it's one that when people of faith are honest and really working that edge to have a deeper understanding of how the divine works in the world, right? It would be only natural to kind of move in and out of that absolute knowing. You know, Ernest Holmes spoke to this idea that it's not necessary and really not even helpful that we have blind faith. That we strive in this teaching to have an informed faith that is informed by the study of spiritual scriptures of all kinds, and then through the cultivation of connection, of a cosmic connection, from which all of these things kind of marinate our consciousness, and when we do so consistently, right, we have a shift in consciousness that allows us to not only see the world in a different way, but all to experience it this way as well. So this is, but it does take practice, particularly in times that we live in now that are so disrupted literally by pestilence in personalities, right? In this time where there's fear enough to go around from whatever perspective of the world that you may adhere to. So in religious science, we like to teach that we not only know that there's a power greater than we are from which we can use, a higher power if you like, spirit, first cause, or just simply the word God if you like. It is not enough to have a faith in God, but we must have the faith of God. And that we cannot do this when we allow the world of affairs to pull us off our center. Because what happens is then the world becomes our preset, right? The world becomes our default, the way of experiencing life, that the world becomes our default setting. And this can only lead to a sense of separation. Well, first confusion, separation, and then in time we just pitch the matter all together, right? And in my experience, when we engage in that falling away or this disconnection, this leads only to suffering. And frankly, if you suffer enough, it leads to misery. So it's much easier to maintain a cosmic connection. It's much easier to maintain a cosmic connection than to try to find one if we've fallen away. When we've fallen away into that place so dark that without a spiritual teacher, right, that we really have to fight and kind of claw even our way back, right? Because even though the light is within and the light is all around us, right? So Ken's song says this beautifully, right? But it is our vision, the way that we see the world, that keeps us blind to the light that's all around us. This is a tough place to be. Right, so our preset, our default setting, must move from fear into faith. Oh, but Rev Mike, you might say, my faith is weak. Right? But if you're like miserable or suffering, the truth is that your faith is not weak. Right? If what we believe in is that the world is going to hell in a handbasket, that this is an expression of faith. And that we are experiencing that expression of faith as hell in a handbasket. That we have faith in fear more than faith in the absolute. So do we have any examples of how people can get out of this? Well, we have the master teacher himself, Jesus. right? So it was not by accident. It was not by accident that Jesus did the things that he did. So in the book of Mark, which was the first gospel, by the way, and I got this from, I can't remember the site now. I'll find it later. So it is written that it was common for him, Jesus, to be so inundated with people that he had no time to rest. In the early days of his ministry, he had to sneak out of the house just to pray. That's early in Mark. After traveling, so many people come seeking healing that he has no chance to eat. And when he does find time to take the 12 away for some rest and training, he's so exhausted to the point of falling asleep in the boat, even within a violent storm. So you remember all these stories, maybe? So my point is this, right? So even Jesus had to sneak out to go to pray, right? Then that's kind of telling us something. Even Jesus had to unplug from the world. Now, I know there was no social media in the, way back when, and he didn't have an iPhone, to be sure, but the world did press in on him enough to where he had to sneak away to pray. And so what I take from this is that if the master teacher has to unplug, then I certainly need to. Because what I know, and I suspect for myself, and I suspect that this is true for you, whether you are aware of it today or not, that what we long for in our life experience, day to day, month in, and even year to year, is to have an experience of the Spirit expressing as life, expressing as our life, right? And expressing so fully and completely that it's not a subtle thing, but it is obvious, joyously obvious. Now, I have to tell you, so I don't know, that's where I'm at. I don't know about you. Is this true for you? There was a time when I didn't even know this was possible. But now I do. And I have to say, sometimes it is an intellectual exercise more than some yummy connection with the divine where God and I are one. But that's enough to get started, right? Because I think we've all known a time when we did not even know this is possible, but now we do. That we see the reflection, that I see the reflection of the divine within you, right? Within the notes that you've been sending in, through your consistent conscious giving that's maintaining our center, through your texts that I receive, and sometimes even masked at Trader Joe's when I run into you at the store. So knowing that we are each a reflection of this infinite absolute self, the infinite divine, we can move towards an understanding that everyone around us reflects our own consciousness, reflects ourselves. And just like me, everyone is doing the best they can with what they have in the time that they have. And when we can find compassion for ourselves, doing the best we can, we are able to transfer that compassion to those around us. Right? So in 12-step, they say you cannot give away something you haven't got. Holmes says that in turning to the law, realize that it is a law of reflection. Realize that it is a law of reflection, that life is the mirror of king and slave. And what we reflect out to the world reflects to us. When we smile at the world smiles back. When we change our reflection to that of God reflecting through us, what comes back is the same, if not more. So here we have Holmes one more time pointing to a law of circulation, which we are constantly working with by thinking into. Right? But how great it is when our awareness and our consciousness is so attuned to the divine, right, that we can just experience the life of the divine through ordinary things and see the gifts and see the reflection of the divine because we ourselves are attuned, that we can express compassion and even loving kindness to those with whom we are in conflict with, because we are so attuned with the divine that there is no offense, there is no resentment. There's just simply the observation of someone having a bad day. Now, there are some days when that's like, what an order. I can't go through with it, right? Do not be discouraged. Right? That all of us are doing the best that we can. So we're going to end with this. I'm going to call the musicians forward. And so this is called the Just Like Me mantra. So just put your hands over your heart, if you will. And just say with me at home, if you will. So just like me. Thank you, John. Just like me, you are seeking some happiness in your life. There you go, nice. Just like me, you are trying to avoid suffering in your life. Just like me, you have known sadness. Just like me, you want to be loved. Just like me, you were once an innocent child. Just like me, you are a spirit on a journey. So let's just take a deep breath and breathe into that for a moment and recognize and know that the indwelling I am presence of the divine is available right now. That we attune ourselves to the vibration of the 10 and experience the light of the divine, expressing as the life of God as our life right now. That we allow ourselves to be tuned up to the harmonic vibration of the living spirit within. That we know that there is available to us an infinite power, a presence, an infinite heart of the divine itself available to us at all times. That this is steeped in our awareness and in our remembering. That whatever aspect of life where we may have practiced forgetting, that's no more. That we are stepping into a field of consciousness that acknowledges and knows that we are experiencing life as an infinite possibility of good. That as we call this forth for ourselves, we know that we know and experience the overflow of life so that we raise those around us as well in ways of justice, of peace, of harmony. That we attune now to the infinite song of life itself and allow it to express fully and completely and courageously as our life. And so in gratitude then, we just consider the many blessings in our life, including the continuance of radiant good health, abundant prosperity, of knowing that of experiencing abundance and having enough. For as the Irish expression is, that having enough is as good as a feast. And so we feast on the life expressing all around us. And see it is good and very good. So it is.
Thank you for that beautiful sermon. My name is John Silvers. The first song I sang was an original song. I'm going to play you a song right now that I just wrote yesterday, which is always a little bit risky, but but I have God on my side, which is a very good thing. All right. Okay. It's called Everybody Wins. And I also want to give a quick shout out to my stepmother, Taj, in Santa Fe. The things that I do to you, they come back to me. Things that you do to me, they come back to you. We all lose if we choose hate. So let's choose love if we want to make America great. It's not too late. The things that we do, they mean more than what we say. Our actions speak much louder than our words at the end of the day. I promise to be there for you. Will you promise to be there for me too? What you gonna do? United we stand, divided we fall. That is why I am risking it all. I'm betting on love and I'm going all in, 'cause that's the only way. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. The things that I do for you, they come back to me. And the things that you do for me, they come back to you. There is no limit to our love. Together we can rise above. Come on. United we stand, divided we fall. That is why I'm gonna risk it all. I'm betting on love and I'm going all in, 'cause that's the only way. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. United we stand. Everybody wins. If united we stand, everybody wins. Hey, thank you, thank you, thank you. God bless.
You'd think we set that one up.
You would think so, right?
Yeah, that was nice. Thank you very much. All right, so Mr. John Silvers, one more time at home. So, 2 nice songs. Good job there. Yeah. I have not found it easy to write a song. In fact, I think I've only wrote 4. Yeah. What was it? No, you can't sing them in church. All right. All right. So, let me take this off. So this is a time for you to show your appreciation not only to John but to everything that's going on here. You can do this on our website by. If you make your way to our front page there, you'll see make a donation. That takes you to our PayPal portal. You just press that little debit or credit card button and make, be as bold as you dare. And then if you're on your phone, you just swipe up 4 or 5 times and hit make a donation right here. And it will take you to that same portal, which is PayPal. It's all totally safe. And no Russian bots spying on your stuff, and just stepping into a deep field of gratitude from those around us here. And if you're on our YouTube page, you can find the PayPal button right there. Again, that takes you back to here. Just press that little debit card button. Yeah. And then, of course, you can also donate on our Facebook page, which looks like this. And you can continue to mail in your donations, which is wonderful. We're continuing to get those. The easiest way really is to use bill pay with your checking account, which you're already doing for other things. And here is my shameless plug. The book is out. So if those of you, many of you have gotten it already, I hope you're enjoying it. And Science of Mind magazine also is available. And Reverend Stephen Rambo has a wonderful article in there on the cosmic sea. So check that out, if you will. So Ken and Jason will take us now into our offering song.
3, 4. Spirit gives through you, Spirit receives from me, Spirit live and breathes through me, Spirit lives and breathes through me, Spirit gives through you, Spirit receives through you, Spirit lives and breathes through you. Spirit lives and breathes through you. Spirit gives through us. Spirit receives through us. Spirit lives and breathes through us. Spirit lives and breathes through us. Yeah.
So recognizing and knowing that the gifts presented here this morning are a demonstration of consciousness, whether it's through the basket or through online giving, however they make their way here, that is a demonstration of consciousness that knows and knows that it knows that God is our source, our substance, our supply. And so through the generous heart of the individual from which these gifts have been offered here this morning, we representing the heart of this spiritual community, both here in the physical plant and with those of you joining us online, that we accept these gifts with deep love and appreciation, knowing they go forth to heal, to prosper, and to bless the lives of anyone connected to this center in any way. That we extend this blessing and this tidings to our friends here in our community of Granada Hills, our city of Los Angeles, our state of California, our United States of America, all of its churches, temples, mosques, schools, universities, the people who attend them, the people who support them, and for our planet as well, that we know that all of it, in some crazy, cosmically connected way, is an emanation from the very mind and the very heart of the living Spirit expressing. And to the extent that we know this to be so, we see it demonstrating in all ways, great and small. This lifts our hearts. We feel a sense of grace and power and connectedness that propels us into ways of spiritual living and pulls us into a greater vision for life that allows us to express this idea of spiritual living as the truth of our life. And that's a good thing. And together we acknowledge this by saying, and so it is. Amen. So one more time, let's thank Mr. John Silvers, everybody. Yes, and thank Mr. Jason Goldstein for joining us as always, ever faithful. And let's give Ken some extra love for that great song he's shared with us. So nicely done. And also let's give some love to Reverend Kathy Lyons, the cat woman in her cat-like garb, our animal ministry minister. So pray us out, Rev.
Okay, so join me in consciousness as I speak in the first person for each one here and how grateful I am to be here today to celebrate this beautiful day. And I just recognize this power and presence, this spirit, which we are all interconnected in love. And I know right now that there is just love in every aspect of my life, that we are all interconnected and that we are all experiences this love. So as I emanate love and embody love, that love comes back to me in my life, and all my relationships are heart to heart, God to God, win-win relationships. And I know that this world, regardless of what we're seeing on the outside, that we are knowing, and I am knowing, that it is just a world that works for everyone, where everyone wins, because everyone is divinely satisfied and blessed. And so with deep gratitude, faith, trust, and conviction, I release my word to the law. It is done, it is so, and together we say, and so it is.
Please join us at home in singing the peace song. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
That was meant to be with God.